confirmation of the final standings in Group B. Then Bayern topped the group with 6 wins from 6. Looking good, aren't they? Spurs settled for second. That win for Olympiacos sees them leapfrog Red Star and take the third place for the Europa League spot here. Looks like he's not getting too worried or bogged down about it. With games like this, you always ask, what can you learn from them? What did he learn from that tonight?
I think he learned that some of his players that are fringe players are not up to the challenge at the highest level. You know, Jose's comparing Bayern with Burnley, which is, you know, chalk with cheese. They were a really good team tonight, Bayern. I know they're huffing and puffing in their own league, but they looked a really good team tonight. He'll be disappointed with some players that he's thrown in and he thought he'd get more from. But he's still fanning about what he's got. You know, he's got a group of players that he's been working with for a month. And I think he's a wee bit surer tonight about some of them than he was before the game tonight.
One or two, and one in particular that you've put together a sort of
Montage.
a montage, if that's a very fancy word for was most of it pretty negative, and it's Giovani Lo Celso, big signing in the summer.
Yeah.
Weren't impressed with him.
Kyle Walker's running back towards his own goal. He's aware of Coleman wide of him, but he has to go in the way to Coutinho because our man Lo Celso is not doing his job properly. He's just not putting the hard yards in. This is a good side to him. I mean, now you've...
Yeah, he does well here. He tries to thread one through to more of it. He gets lucky, it comes out, and Sessegnon probably makes it look better than it actually was. He goes down here as if he's been hit. He just bumps into... you know, into Kimmich, and look, you see there, he rolls around the place, and he ends up getting
very
himself.
nasty, that, doesn't it?
Graham did not like that.
Yeah, yellow card. But
it was just in general, though, lads. His defensive mindset was non-existent. It's what you were.
As a midfield player, what you learn when you're 15, 16 years old. When you lose the ball, you get goal side as quickly as you possibly can. You sprint back as quickly as you sprint forward. Watch Alcantara here, number 6, best player on the pitch. Look, he sprints. If he sprints, he's getting a shot at goal and maybe scores there. But he doesn't put the hard yards in. Watch him here. So he squares this, it gets cut out. I think I'll jog. Where is the sprint now from him? You sprint back like you sprint forward. Get goal side. Do a job for your team.
Where could he be now? He could have intercepted that pass, or he could have at least held it up. He's still trotting back. There's still time even to get back in. He could do something about this. Watch him just trot into the pitch now. He doesn't even look at any danger.
Side. Look, be aware. There's nothing... Forget the guy that's standing wide where he was jogging toward. He has to come in the way. He is not interested and doing his bit for the team when you don't have the ball.
But is he not just a creative player who says, you get the ball back, give it to me and I'll make something happen?
Them days are gone, Tommy.
Those players don't exist anymore.
In
the best teams have never existed, but today, all the teams, you have to have players who contribute when you don't have the ball.
Liverpool have more gifted players than him, but look at the work rate they put in to get the ball back. I'll give you a Liverpool front three. They're unbelievable.
Look at Barcelona at the very best a few years ago. None of them did that.
And just quick, Mourinho would accept that.
He
won't accept that.
Jose will not accept that.
They could beat 3-1, but when Son came on, he had 2 chances that, you know, certainly in the form he's in this season, you would have expected him to put away.
Yeah, he was very hesitant. He was very hesitant on the first one. Found himself in goal. But Alphonso Davies, now he is quick. I was so impressed with him tonight. He gets back, but I do think he thought he had more time, Son, and he wasted that chance. But that would have made things an awful lot different. I should say. And not long afterwards, as the game was fighting out, great ball. Eriksson spots him. He's well through. Now he was quick to get in. He didn't dilly-dally this time. He actually perhaps rushed it a little bit. But yeah, there's 2 great chances which, you know, you expect him to do better with, and might have just changed the whole pattern. But that said, you know, Spurs took a long time to settle in the game. They looked weak, and you know they're letting goals. They never got a foothold. They never got a foothold.
But look, Spurs fans will say we didn't have Kane and Ali. You know, that's fundamental. Definitive players for them.
And I would say Ali's not been a player for him for 2 years.
Well, what about Kane? Like saying, you know, Tottenham without Kane is like
Kane's
Paris without the Eiffel Tower. It's
best
like
centre forward in English football, best English centre forward. Of course, you'd miss him, but I think that they've got problems in midfield for me. You know, I understand why Jose played Dyer and played Sissoko in there, thinking they're going to be on the back foot. We'll have to defend a lot, but then that's okay on one side of the game. You look solid when you're defending. But when you've got the ball, you've got to be able to play. Because if you give the ball away all the time, they'll just keep coming back at you. And that's how the game panned out.
But the problem isn't that, because they're shipping goals. It's not as if they're even defending goals. And I think, I look at Liverpool, and what made the difference with Liverpool? They got a world-class goalkeeper and a world-class centre-back. And I know Jose is looking at that now. I don't have to be educated to understand he's got to do that. That's his job. Ship it up, find a great goalkeeper, find a great centre-back.
In an ideal world, yes. But I think you prioritise. I think he'll look at where he's weakest. I think it's in the two full-back areas and the goalkeeper. And I think he needs a bit more in midfield, because you've taken off Dyer to put Wanyama on. Is that an upgrade?
Yeah.
You know, you're in the... You get away with it playing against the mid-table teams in the Premier League. Where Spurs want to be at that level, they ain't good enough.
Finalists last season and heading for the knockout stages now.